Your experience of being in cover bands versus original bands. I'm very passionate about the difference in that grind and what that means. I think a lot of people just don't understand what it means to be in an original band versus what it means to be in a cover band playing bars 5 nights a week versus ticketed events and promo and marketing that goes into all that kind of stuff. So your experience, you've had plenty of experience in both kinds of situations. How would you describe the difference? What do you think is just like the pros and cons of both sides of the industry, I guess?
Well, I mean, I know you and I have had multiple conversations about how hard it is to have a band and play, cover gigs 3 or 4 nights a week, and then on a Saturday try to have a ticketed show and try to sell tickets for something that people saw, all week long for free.
Right.
I spent most of the years of my career coming up only doing originals, and never making any money, but gaining a lot of experience and things like that. But yeah, never making any money at it. And then after the last original band that his name was Iron, the metal band kind of disbanded. That's when I started playing covers more exclusively, just making money. I'm not gonna say got stuck in a rut, but just until a good worthy project came up, it was just easy to sit there and kind of make money and save money. And like I said, but it's still from that, there's still a lot of experience to be gained, from playing covers, getting hired in for one-offs and random people's fill-in bands.
Make sure you're talking into the mic.
Oh yeah. Going and playing with different musicians and learning how they play and just gaining experience from that. But yeah, man, it's hard. It's hard to balance it. Probably one of the reasons why I haven't done a whole lot of original music in the last 6 to 8 years. But
well, you're playing with Melody now, though, right? I mean, Melody does a lot of that stuff. You guys go on the road quite a bit.
Yeah. I mean, we were definitely averaging at least 1 or 2 out-of-town shows a month. We try not to play Jacksonville. With a band like that, with everybody in the band aside from Melody, who pretty much plays full-time with their own respective groups, it makes it easier to where we only have to play original shows. We're not out there having to grind to make ends meet. So
right.
that's kind of been the defining thing for that band. But again, with that, it comes with its own set of troubles of trying to book those shows for Melody Trucks Band when you have 4 other schedules to balance. And
sure. Yeah.
Which we signed. We hooked up with a booking agent early this year and let him.
Speakeasy.
Yeah, Speakeasy. So
Justin's a good dude, man.
Yeah,
I like him.
Yeah, letting him handle that nightmare. But hats off to Melody for being able to make that work. Having never been the one in a band that's had to really handle that aspect of it, I fully am aware and respect the amount of work and stress that goes into it. So.
Sure, man. Yeah, it's really difficult trying to balance those schedules and just get everybody on the same page. But I will say that all the original music thing, I think if you're a musician that wants to pursue original music, there's a huge downside to playing the bar scene in the sense of what we were talking about, trying to play 3 or 4 shows a week for free and then do a ticketed event or something. A lot of bands, their management, like out of town bands, bigger touring bands, their management they don't want to work with you because they know that your last local show was yesterday and they know that your numbers aren't going to be good in that market.
Right.
So there's a lot of things that go into that. But what I will say is that it's playing in a bar, being in the bar scene is the equivalent of the service industry for anybody else. If you're a musician, I think you have to have that experience because, first off, there's no better way to build your chops and to build your comfortability on stage than playing 4, 5, 6 nights a week in a bar. To nobody or to a shit.
That builds character.
Or the worst people.
Yeah, or the worst people. The whole thing is like people yelling requests at you and just treating you like you're just a jukebox and then getting upset when you don't know those requests or wanting to sing on your shit or play guitar and you're they have no concept and no respect of what your position is. I think it really toughens you up as a musician to be in that scenario for a long time, and then the original music grind from the performance aspect becomes so much easier to deal with.
Oh yeah,
the business side of it is way more complicated, but the performance side of it becomes it's just another gig for you.
Oh yeah. And that's you're talking about dealing with those hecklers, just the drunk people at the bar. You find a way to just most times those people are drunk and not pay attention, so you don't even have to lay that much sarcasm to be able to have the entire bar laughing at this person without them realizing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's generally what we try to do.
That's kind of my job.
Yeah, that's what you're there
I
for.
figured that's where you shine.
Yeah, that's definitely where I shine.
I'm,
do you know any Miley Cyrus? Do we know the whole album? Hit it, Anton.
Eric Kaufman, what's up, bro? Thanks for joining in.
Yeah, my favorite things to do.
I see. My issue is on those gigs is that I don't have
a sense of humor.
Not. No.
Sorry, I'm working on
Quit
it.
interrupting, Billy.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. Doesn't mean I was good at it now.
Yeah,
Three,
you're getting there. You'll
4.
be all right. Yep.
Well, I'm not going to hit it quite as hard if I don't say it now. Anyways.
My problem is at those shows is that like, yeah, I don't really actually have the wit to come back to people like that like on stage. And also I get angry. I don't get like my mind doesn't go to how can I make this person look like an idiot. My mind goes to like literally fuck you and your entire family.
I get there too. I get there. I have to remind myself because I play with Shane in like every band that I play in, and he's just got like 20 years like just pro experience on top of me, and like I find myself and I'm like I've been doing this for too long to be able to put up with this shit, and then he's over there laughing. I'm like he's been doing it way longer than I have. So
Yeah.
I'm like all right, fine, let's just fucking laugh at this person instead.
Yeah, that's all you can really do at the end of the day. And there's sometimes where they cross the line, and then you never know what's gonna happen. Because like I've had people, one chick came up to me when we were playing at the Palace in Fernandina. This one chick comes up to me, she was like, "I just want to play the keyboard," and I was like, "Well, no, you weren't there."
Oh, and
what? Hold on, I'm about to explain what's going on. So there it is, bro. See? So I was like, no, you can't play the keyboard. Like, no, it's like $4,000 worth of gear right there. You can't play the keyboard. And she was like, I just want to touch one. I was like, no, you can't do it. And I'm like sticking up for Billy because he's not there to stick up for himself. So, anyways, she walks away and she goes and tells her fucking fratty boyfriend in the back with all of his friends, like, I don't hear what she says. I see her point. He goes, he won't let me play the keyboard. And I'm just like, this sucks.
Here we go.
And so when we started our next set, she's like sitting there pointing at me and blah blah. And like this guy like looking at me, he starts like doing this like in the background. I'm like, but first off, like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna walk up while I'm singing and punch me in the face? Number one. Number two, you
At the
might.
Palace, you never know.
You might, but it's like number two, like, what are you trying to accomplish by just like waving at me and trying to be a dick like that? You know what I'm
Like,
saying?
3, your girlfriend's annoying.
Yeah, exactly. And then to make it worse, Billy comes back later and tells her she can play the keyboard.
Yeah, well, we were playing Last Dance with Mary Jane in A minor. I was like, okay, so here's this key. Just press that A key, and hopefully you know how to count to 4, and just hit that A key. And I let her on stage and play with me.
Yeah, you did. And what
That's
she
the
do?
difference.
She walks away and she's like, like to me, she's like, "Fuck you." And I'm like, "Okay,
and then,
cool."
yeah,
You're cool though.
Exactly. Yeah, you're cool. You're cool. Fuck you. Fuck
So you got like the
you're
good
cool.
cop, bad cop thing going in the band.
Oh yeah,
Big time. Yeah.